Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm Helen Herimbi. Oh, I don't know if it was recording. Okay. Hey. What? Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm Helen Herimbi. Oh, I don't know if it was recording. Okay. Hey, what's good, everyone? I'm Helen Herimbi, and this is another episode of The Watch. The last time you and I connected, our President Cyril Ramaphosa, had announced that he was giving us an extension on this lockdown. So now we are fully within the extension. So to help us kind of cope with cabin fever and the anxiety and everything that comes with being in such a situation, we decided to speak to Pastor Kabelo Mabalane, also known as the Kwaito legend Bugalov. So if you missed that episode, please go back to the episode previous to this one and go and watch that. And I think that'll help you kind of find your own routine and a way for you to cope. But today, though, I'm very excited to be chatting with one of the newish, super exciting musicians. His parents named him Letabo, but to the rest of us, he is Focalistoc. So let's give him a call. Take it from there.
Let's get it.
Yeah, that's much better. What are you drinking, Foca?
Coca-Cola.
It's not the Hennessy double cup.
No. I had to take a break.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
Thank you for having me on my first Zoom ever in my life. I've actually never even had a Skype.
Really? I'm so glad to be giving you your first something in life.
Yeah, I'll forever remember this.
Aw. So how has lockdown been treating you?
I mean, for me, it's like, it's all right, but people like lying and say like they've always been homebodies and whatever. I think it's different when you don't have a choice. So I think it kind of got to me like yesterday. I was just so bored. Like I wanted McDonald's, chicken licking. I just want to see some people dancing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I miss outside.
I don't miss outside so much, but I really miss this pasta from a place that I go to often. Like, it just doesn't taste the same when I try to make it myself.
From where? From Gemelli?
No, from Mythos. Gemelli's got some great pasta, but there's this prawn pasta at Mythos that's just amazing.
Seafood. I like the seafood pasta. Yo, actually, we shouldn't be having this conversation.
No, let's not. Let's talk about something else. So one of the first times that I heard your name was through the Major League Boys. And they were about to put out the song and they were like, you really need to check out this kid. And the song was 19 Tobes.
Oh, yeah.
Can you remember making that song? Like, what are the things that stood out for you while you were making it?
Yo, everything stood out for me when I was making that song because that was like one of my first times meeting Major League and Gemini Major. So it felt like what a way of just meeting, all these dope people at once. And on that same day, you have to make a song with them.
Oh, wow.
So for me, just the whole process. And crazy enough, I never told this story. On my way to the studio when we were doing 19th of April. So I was driving like this old car, like my mom gave to me, when I went to varsity. So the car got stuck. So like, yeah, I don't know what happened. It just got stuck.
Yeah.
And then like, I couldn't tell Bandile what happened because I'm like, it's the first time I'm meeting him. I stand it to a hole, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, if I don't make it, I'm gonna have like an excuse like I broke a leg or something. So it got stuck on. I was in Centurion because I was coming from Pretoria.
Yeah.
In Centurion, and then after an hour it moved, and then it got stuck again, like close to Midrand. Luckily, I was going forward. So I chilled a bit for like 2 more hours, and then I got there like late, like 5. Like, why you late, poison? I'm just like, yo, my mom had asked me to do some things for her, So yeah, that's just it. That was a crazy story, man. But I made it and I recorded.
Yeah. I'm so glad you made it. While you were sitting there on the side of the road, were you thinking, this is my big chance and I'm about to blow it? Or were you just like chilled about it?
I think I'm a person of like strong belief. So obviously I knew the car like couldn't do long distance, but I was like, yo, by fire by force, I'm gonna make it there. You know what I mean? I wasn't like stressed. I mean, I cried because it just felt like things, you know, things in your life can stop you from like your dreams, and these are things you can't control, like you're born into, you know, certain systems. But like after a while, it was just like, you know, I always like try to be positive. So after a while, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get there. No matter what happens, I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. What I liked about hearing you on that song was, you know, these guys had decided that they're going with this new Kwaito wave, right? And it's still rooted in rap. But you were talking about how Nelibeta Skupu Samujava.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my Setswana and Sesotho and Sepedi is, whew,
I
but
know you tried. That was
I'm
tricky, man.
trying. But the reason it was interesting for me is because that's so Pretoria, right? And
Yeah.
you were coming out on this song with these guys and saying, I'm so Pretoria. So I'm interested in what is the I guess the memory that you have about growing up in Pretoria that you feel like this thing couldn't have happened anywhere but in Pretoria.
I think for me, that's why I used to have like a genre for a name for like the type of music I make. I used to call it quantum music before I subscribed to being a type guys. But for me, it's just the quantum era, like when everyone was going to fountains and you know people were hanging out windows and the Bacardi was really popping. You know, Mojavo, Pujo Mujo. You know, like those trips for me, I don't think they would have happened anywhere in the world. The way it felt and the way we would save up money for end of the month fountains, you know. And you even had like famous taxi drivers, like okay, you know, he'd like really have people who know him. Like when he passes the street, it's like, yo, there he is. You know, CFY 012, you know, those are like that's a few of the taxis I remember, the CFY, the CLY, you know what I mean? So for me, that era, that was really dope, you know, music wise and the whole vibe.
So you're definitely into transport, right? You've already told me about the car that broke down. You told me about the quantums. And it sounds like you're super obsessed with the BMWs and how you definitely want a BMW.
I just bought a BMW actually.
Oh, congrats!
Thank you. So that's why the EP was like a lot about that because for me, I think that represents like you know we struggle with transport. So me the BMW just represents like how far we've come and how far we can go. So I guess that's why I'm always thinking about that because I just enjoy driving. So I want to be comfortable, you know, and have fun while doing it.
What's the first song that you played in your new Beamer? Do you remember?
The first song I played. No, I actually remember because I didn't play the first song. My best friend played it. Dingani, shout out to him. He wanted to hear the song I have. It's called Billion. Yeah, it's like about like how I want a new car and whatever. It hasn't dropped. It'll be all like maybe in the next EP, but that's the first song. It's called The Billion.
That new.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to what we were talking about, so Jabba isn't the only person from South African music that you kind of name dropped, right? You also tell us about your all-time top three.
Kulichana, Spigiri, Double HP.
Yes. Have you met any of them? Well,
yeah, I've actually I met two, and you know, rest in peace to WHP. But he followed me, and we used to speak in the DMs. Like I used to ask him, I used to ask him a lot about like you know just how music works, and for me, I just could never believe like how smart he was. You know what I mean? So for me, and with Cooley, it's been mutual respect. I think I used to have like 1,000 followers, and he'd comment and be like, "Yo, keep going, kid." You know. So for me, that was dope. And I met Spiggy at a studio session. We actually went, it was me, myself, Busiso, and Kamu Pela. Kamu had a session with Busiso, and I don't even know how I ended being there, but I met speaking. And for me, that was like such a crazy moment because when he saw me, he said I reminded him of himself because of the hair.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
like, so we just had like a conversation, and I was just like, yo, that's a real hot man. So I'm just glad all my top three are real cool people.
Yeah. Did you have to fight yourself to like, don't see him and then say, oh yeah, don't do it?
I had to fight not taking a selfie. I think for me, that's one of the moments I wanted to like capture, you know, because it was like, yo, how often do you see Speaky Ricky Woogie ooh wee in the streets?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to take the picture, but I just like, you know, let me keep it genuine, authentic.
Yeah. What's interesting is that you open your new EP with what I would describe as a nod to Jabba, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why you wanted to do that, and then tell everybody else what it is that you're doing.
I mean, for me, I feel like I feel like I'm a lot of people reincarnated, and like I keep hearing it, and it's like I've learned to accept it. I'm a student of Jabba. I listen to his album religiously, you know. So for me, it's like first and foremost, being a student, I have to, you know, teach my generation because a lot of kids miss those eras, you know. So I feel like I'm the library, and me starting off my EP like that, I think that song it's a capsule of my style. So when you listen to that song, you get to understand all my angles. You know, there's a bit of singing, there's a bit of the mapiano element in the bass line, you know, there's the rapping, there's the hook punchline. So for me, it was just like, you know, paying homage to the greats and showing how they've inspired me to, you know, develop this new song.
Yeah. I want to get into the EP in a moment, but before we do, you dropped another EP before this one, Acid Trap, Ipina Tsakas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the songs that people love on there is Overload, right?
Overload,
and I was listening and kind of chuckling because there's a part in Overload where you say Hanamutu. And then a few months later, but never jaifa ka corona, but another kind of corona. Remember when everybody thought it was funny to be like, corona?
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny for a week.
And now no one's laughing. So tell me a little bit about specifically how the coronavirus has impacted you as a musician.
I think as a musician, it's kind of forced me to take a step back and like start analyzing where I'm going, one, and two, just, you know, flip the sound, because I think I'm at a point where with Corona, I have so much time on my hands. I was listening to a lot of my old music. I listened to a lot of the music I just dropped. I listened to Tarantino, and I listened to a lot of other people's music. So for me, you know, after that, I came to the conclusion we need a fresh sound, and we need to just keep doing what South Africans do, because Americans can't do what we can do. We can do what they can do, but they can never, they can never say as a trap people as guys. So for me, it's just helped with the like retrospection and introspection, and just opening my mind. I'm trying to use this time to be as productive as I can. So I've been reading, listening to music, that's the impact on me.
Yeah. You've also been watching movies, right?
A lot.
So this new EP is called Quarantined Tarantino.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a play on Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
And I hear that that's your favorite director ever.
Yeah, ever. So when I was thinking of the EP was like first, because I have two EPs that I'm supposed to drop. The other one has no name right now. I'm calling it Black.
Mm-hmm.
But this EP was meant to be like a play on words on Django, because I just felt like because I felt free in a lot of ways, you know. And then, you know, the irony is it.
Wait, so the EP was originally supposed to be called Django, or you were thinking about a title around Django?
I was thinking, when we were thinking. And then the irony, the next week they say, no, you locked down. So I'm like, I actually don't feel free anymore. You know, like Django doesn't make sense. Okay. So we were thinking, and I was like, oh, the director of Django is Quentin Tarantino, Quarantine Tarantino. And that's how it came about, you know, just the whole story of, you know, hoping people can feel free. That's why it's a kind of like a juxtaposition, like Quarantine Tarantino, you know. So for me, it's just like, yo, let's still be, you know, creative in this quarantine phase.
Yeah. What's your favorite Tarantino movie?
Django.
Really?
And Django and Desperado can be, because I used to watch Desperado on repeat the whole day when I was a kid. Like, that's the only DVD my mom knew. Like, okay, this kid is just gonna watch Desperado the whole day, repeat it, you know. So for me, it's either Django, Desperado. You know, I can't decide.
Okay. So there's a few songs I want to talk about on Quarantined Tarantino. But before that, I think you want us to actually hear a little bit,
definitely.
right?
Definitely.
So what are you doing for us?
I'm gonna do full set. Yeah, this is a song that's very close to me because the way it was done, it was just like a one freestyle of the whole song, and that's why I didn't add the second verse because I didn't want to mess up the moment. And you know, like even the way my way on any other song, those would have been words, but I felt like, you know, those whispers or whatever you call them, the humming means more because it's a moment for me. It's an emotional moment. So yeah, who said that? That's the song.
Let's hear it.
Let's set it up. Yeah. Yeah. Set of three. Tomorrow will start at the year in that G. Came a long way from 2016. My way. Tomorrow will start at the year Came a long way from 2016. I got food that never could fill it up. I do numbers, never could fill it up. I got right on Hennessy, never cut to one time. Never did one dish. No double up, not the money that double up. Got a long time, old money, but I'm still young. Really get hot, it's a finish of the pop. Telela, you think that she knows my shit, my felela. Make it like a langa, dreaming of a cabela. Now I got a car 2 times the caravela. Bele ke ba bokela, maratona buki mena ya tsugela. Kuyu bane bara wana ka dukhala. Boss no, this is that. Say, what I was start to yes and in that G. Came a long way from 2016.
Nice. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry about the sound there. I hope you caught it.
Hey?
I'm saying I'm sorry about the sound there, but I hope everything was clean.
You know what? We're all adjusting to this new digital world. So thank you for that performance. What is the significance of Came a Long Way since 2016? What are you referring to?
I think 2016 for me was ooh, the energy there. 2016 for me was a year of like discovering myself and what I really want to do. And I always say like I don't think you choose music. I think music chooses you. So for me, 2016 is the year music chose me because I couldn't focus. I couldn't do anything else but music. You know, I mean, I knew that I had to study. Like, I have a degree in political science, so I knew that I have to finish that. But you know, there was just this crazy desire and passion for me to just, you know, say things on wax and get it recorded. So a lot of things have changed from that point, you know. For me, that's the point of realization. And right now I'm at the point of seeing that everything that has happened is probably just like 2% of what's to come, you know. So
Yeah.
that's just, you know, that's just a retrospective thought actually that I just had. Like, yo, we actually come a long way.
Yeah. And you're going to go even further, I have no doubt. But you've come a long way from no rider to now you got a rider, Hennessy double. What else is on your rider? What is on your dream rider?
My dream rider would be like I've seen Beyonce's rider,
Yeah.
and they traveling with their own stage. For me, I think that's the most important part. Like the Hennessy is obviously a nice thing, you know, but like for me, it's just I wish I could construct my own stage and give people the show that I've always, you know, imagined in my head for me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Arieng Sentin is obviously a nod to another very popular song.
Yeah.
But you say no Marabastat, which is in Pretoria.
Yeah.
So for the Pitori Maradona to say no Marabastat and he wants to go to Sentin instead.
I think what I'm talking about there is you see that's why like even Pretoria people can say that. I think that's probably like people's favorite line actually. I think it's because they understand that Marabastat is full of fake clothing. So when I'm and Santon on the other hand is you know there's Gucci, there's Dolce and Gabbana, like the real stuff. You know what I mean? So I think for me that was you know what I was saying, just extending the whole you know juxtaposition concept. You know, like no fake clothes. Let's get the real deal. Authentic. It's not about the geography. You know, I'll choose Pretoria over Sentin on any day.
All right. So another song on Quarantined Tarantino is Pitori to Paris.
Yeah.
And you talk about how you would take a check, but you won't take a joke. Break that down for me a little bit more. What have jokes ever done to you?
When I say I'm gonna take a check, I'm gonna never take a joke. And then I say I get that just means I can't smile with people in Joburg because a lot of them are thieves. So I don't want the jokes. If it's not a check, I'm not there. I don't want to sit around, you know, and like fake laugh and things like that. I just, you know, I want the money.
Yeah. What I find interesting is that, especially during lockdown, like in general, artists are always asked to work for exposure, right?
Yeah.
Lockdown, people want you to work like for a good cause, or everyone's on IG Live, so let's all have this free performance or whatever.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, like the rent is not stopping, the car payments aren't stopping. So how have you been dealing with people asking you to work and have your art out for free?
I think for me, I just don't do free things in terms of, like a performance or like, because I think we put in so much money into having these studios, into making the song come out. And I think it's just only right that even the fans can respect that, because I'm already respecting you investing in this thing. So the least you can do is just pay for it to happen. So I mean, I'm lucky enough. I don't necessarily face to face personally deal with gigs, but the word because I have my own label now. The word in 18 area is there's no free anything, especially if it's art. For me, it's just purely out of respect, because I wouldn't ask anyone else to show me their art for free, especially if I stand to benefit from it. You understand?
Yeah.
That's just my theory.
Is your label called 18 Area?
Yeah, I have it tatted on. 18
Oh, that's dope. So soccer is a big thing for you, because even like the Maradona thing.
Yeah, I always say soccer is a big thing because I used to play with like a ball, and now I play with words and people's emotions. So it's still the same. I still feel like the same Maradona. Especially people who know me from high school, like grade 9, still call me Maradona, but they like, for them it's just the shock. Like, you don't Maradona, you're on TV, and it's like, yo, I've had this name. You know what I mean? I'm just playing with something. I'm playing with words, and people's emotions.
And you have different goals now.
Yeah, different goals.
All right. Well, on that note, before I let you go, what's in the plans for you for 2020?
The plan for 2020, obviously, right now is survival. I'm just trying to, survive this virus. But all in all, like I want to be the greatest African musician. Period. So for me, it's just more studio, more learning. You can never know too much, and yeah, more music, man. More. I'm just trying to build an army. There's people out there rooting for me. They call themselves Squad Samaratona, so shout out to them. Just trying to make sure they're satisfied and go and take it to the world. And never forget, the goal is to become the greatest African artist. I hope people record that.
Yeah. That's dope. If you don't actually put out a soccer kit as part of your merch, then
then we're joking. But we're actually doing that, soon, very soon.
Okay.
But the only thing with the kit is all the numbers at the back are number 10. But yeah, we do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for speaking to me, Focalistic. I wish you nothing but the best in lockdown and out of lockdown. And I hope to see you very soon again in real life.
Thank you so much. I actually watch a lot of your shows, so I'm very honored that I'm here. I wish it was real life.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh God, it's Major League. Sandang gamo N1 Vale banyana babo Cape Town Iraba na barata guest list Abalo maraba better face beat Did the weave Bana fella beverage Ay taba juice Au meet marumita chomi Ali di tabe You want the lie Fonya lie arabe Tante chuba oka Overload I overload, I overload, I overload, I overload, bula masaba, net dage ke rata net so ungisaga.
Thank you so much to Focalistic for actually hanging out with me today. I hope you've learned a little bit more about the man behind the music. In the next episode of The Watch, we're going to be delving into addiction, particularly to substances, to alcohol, as well as food, and maybe even a little bit more, and how to deal with that during this lockdown. So if you are looking at ways to actually help yourself or someone you know, please make sure you look out for the next episode of The Watch. My name is Helen Herimbi. I will see you again very soon.
Oh God, it's Major League. Sundown, come on N1. Vale banyana bago keep town. Keraba na barata guest list. Abaluma raba better face beat. Did the weave.